Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Leavecast. I am Leave3D, and I am joined by my co-hosts, Cable, otherwise known as the Animal 189, Jupiter Dog, and Beef. So today we're going to be talking about the big game events, as well as just, some gaming revelations that are specifically Pokemon related. Let's open with that. So the new Pokemon trailer came out that kind of revealed the gameplay style of the new Pokemon game Scarlet and Violet. How are you guys feeling about that?
That's a funny question, considering we talked about this the last, 2 podcasts. We kind of went back and forth on it. Would it have the gameplay of Arceus, or would it have the gameplay of Sword and Shield with the wild areas where you can see all the Pokemon, and there are wild areas, but it goes into traditional catching mechanics? Unfortunately, with that trailer, it did reveal that it does indeed have the open world feeling of Sword and Shield, maybe a bit more to match Arceus a bit, but it does go into a battle screen with traditional battle catching mechanics like the regular games. So that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, so it seems to be the step forward from Sword and Shield is that the entire world is open world. There's not individual wild areas, it's all open. And they said in this new trailer, actually they said on the website, is that you can go anywhere without dictation from the story. It's like a Breath of the Wild or an Elden Ring, where you can go in any direction.
I believe you can go to the gyms in any order you want, right?
We still don't know if there are gyms. I'm assuming there are, or the gym equivalent. But yeah, you can go in any direction. It's completely player driven. But it seems like battles there's a battle screen, and you have to catch Pokemon by pressing the Pokeball button.
Right. I believe during that little trailer, I thought they showed snippets of Coliseum areas, which looked like where you would have your Pokemon gym battles in Sword and Shield. So I think they were teasing gym battles, or maybe they were just important battles.
Right.
In anyway, that would be really cool, and it makes me wonder, is the overall game going to have level scaling, or is it going to just have a set, like the first gym is set to level 10, second gym is set to level, 15, go for that?
That would be ambitious. I would like that, honestly. If you could do them in any order, and then they have set teams depending on which order you do them in.
Right.
Yeah.
Their 8th team would be super built and very, very strong, and their first team would be 2 Pokemon.
Right. It seems like it might do what the Pokemon Generations, I believe, which is where they confirmed that gyms do have more than the Pokemon they have in the games. It's just however many badges you have is the Pokemon they decide to use. And I believe that was in Pokemon Generations, where they...
Was that a ROM hack?
No, it was an internet...
It was an anime.
Yeah, it was an anime.
Oh, gotcha.
But it was just an internet short.
Yeah, no, okay.
Right.
I remember that. That was cool.
It was just Red going through his journey, and at the end, he has Mega Charizard X fighting Mewtwo.
Nice.
So
right.
I wanted to respond to what you guys said about Pokemon and the disappointment with the fact that you're not interacting with the Pokemon seamlessly like an Arceus.
Yeah.
It's just a big step back, and that was the biggest innovation they could do. And if you're only doing it for an open world, making so that open world is more explorable and traversable, I don't think it has near the same effect as making the way you interact with the Pokemon more open world, part of the experience.
I 100% agree. I thought what Arceus did well is making it feel like a real place, there's the alpha Pokemon, there's just little cute ones.
Yeah. It makes the Pokemon feel more real, I think.
Yeah.
Rather and if they're just making the world feel more real, that's not a big deal in comparison.
Yep. And they would run away from you, and you could they'd try to fight you if you threw balls at them. It was just such a cool experience. It was the most I've enjoyed Pokemon in forever. I didn't play Sword and Shield. I gave up on the Diamond and Pearl remix after 4 hours.
That's actually exactly what I did. I've been playing since Gen 1, and I just gave up on Sword and Shield. I felt robbed.
Yeah.
And
And then Arceus came, and I loved almost every second of it. Like, yeah, the story is a Pokemon story, but like, yeah, like it was such a step forward.
I don't know. Would this be a cool thing to do? But I'm not gonna buy this game. After Sword and Shield, I kind of told myself that like if they just made a game that's similar, I wasn't gonna buy it again. I wonder what you guys think.
I'm on the same page. I feel like ever since like X and Y was a big disappointment for me. Mind you, when those came out, I was probably like 14 or so, but nonetheless, huge disappointment. Like I was really excited. We were getting into like the first 3D mainline Pokemon games. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna skip out for now. And Sun and Moon came out, and I was just like, nope. Like, I'm just still not feeling it. I heard that they were really easy, and they were. And then, well, yeah, Sword and Shields. It's still, like, I was tempted. I still didn't buy it. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearls, where I re-entered, but I regret my purchase because, you know, my reason was nostalgia, because I started with Gen 4. But then it just kind of, it started to appear that, it was just a really, really bad port. Honestly, like so many strange decisions, and you know, I might go back for Scarlet and Violet, but honestly, I want to try Arceus soon, like Legends Arceus. That's more in line, I think, with what I want to experience, and I feel like mainline Pokemon just isn't for me anymore until they start making changes, like realizing that you don't need to sell 2 copies of the same fucking game, but you make 3 Pokemon not appear in one and 3 Pokemon not appear in the other. Like, you know,
there's a lot of antiquated things in Pokemon. Pokemon is really antiquated. Exactly,
and it needs to change.
I gotta say, like, I would recommend playing Arceus before Scarlet and Violet. Like, no question.
Oh, for sure.
In my opinion.
Yep.
I have a strong feeling that if you did that, you'd want to return your copies of Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Is there anything else that we want to say regarding Pokemon?
What do you guys think of the legendaries? I know you just mentioned that you don't love the 2 boxes system, or like the 2 different game system, but it seems like they're really kind of
wheel Pokemon, motorcycle Pokemon.
Oh, what? Are they released? Should I Google this?
Yeah. Just Google like, the box art.
Yeah,
they're fucking motorcycle lizards, wheel lizards. They're wheelie.
What's cool about this one is that they have like contrasting themes of future and past, and even the professors do. Like the professor of Scarlet is like all like tribal and stuff, and same with that legendary. And then the professor of Violet is all like techie and futuristic, and then the legendary is like a robot. So it is kind of cool that they're taking the 2 games concept a little further, at least, with contrast.
Yeah, those are pretty different themes.
Yep.
Tribal and tech.
Yeah. I think they're supposed to be pretty opposite, like.
I mean,
the typings of the 2 legendaries have been revealed, and it's kind of an interesting type combination. Scarlet is dragon fighting, and Violet is dragon electric, which is just a kind of weird pair. I feel like they should contrast a little bit, and fighting, I don't feel like contrasts electric at all.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, if you're asking me to like find a correlation, I'd be like, well, lightning fast fighting, you know, they're both very fast because one's a fighter and one isn't, or whatever. But otherwise, I mean, is it bad to say that I'm just not really interested in these new games? Like, I'm just kind of like, it'll be cool when they show up in a game where, you know, like Arceus, where there's gonna be cool, like better mechanics, and it doesn't just feel like I'm playing Pokemon Red slightly upgraded for the 9th generation.
Whoa, hold on. We haven't mentioned the best thing to come out of Scarlet and Violet. You know, there's a new god in town. Move over, Bidoof, because Lechonk is here.
Lechonk! I saw Lechonk.
It's amazing.
Oh,
I haven't seen anything, and I've seen Lechonk.
Can we talk about the fact that literally some localizer sat there, saw that Pokemon, they're just like, what the fuck do we call him? Like, you know, we're kind of embracing meme culture a little bit. You know, we got Quaxley, we got not Crocodile. What's the other Sprigatito? What's
so many puns? What's like half of them are puns.
What's the fire guy? The fire crocodile guy.
I don't know, but he's goofy.
He's hella goofy. But they looked at this fucking pig and they said, Lechonk.
And then have you seen
God
the
bless the
have you seen the grass type
translator.
one? Have you seen Smoliv?
Smoliv! Oh my god, I love
Smoliv.
Smoliv. Smoliv's adorable. Like, oh my god, I just
He's a
wanna
small olive.
I wanna pick him up and take him everywhere.
But I feel like LeChonk is going to be leading the meme game
Oh, yes.
for a long ass time.
It's fucking LeChonk. Of course he is. The
My-
guy's a legend.
He already
My
has the
fear
best name in Pokemon.
is
Yeah.
what he evolves into.
What, you have a theory on the evolution name?
No, I'm saying I'm scared to see what it is.
Oh, it has to be
Yeah.
another meme, dude.
I mean,
like Chungus or
has to be,
something.
right?
Please, the
Oh, yeah,
three
I
meme
imagine.
Chungus.
3 memes in a row. Please.
Please, that would. Oh my god.
Yo.
Maybe I would buy the game if they did that.
I think we've said enough about the Pokemon, so we can probably move on to Sonic now.
Yeah, so Sonic Central probably, like, this is their second Sonic Central, because I think the last one they did was a year ago. The one they did a year ago was pretty cool, you know? It felt really cool. This one, really not. It was a roughly 10-minute presentation that had news kind of really across the board. Like, everything Sonic, even merch, was brought up. First of all, they kind of gave us more on Sonic Origins. They showed a little bit more gameplay, some more cutscenes. Still no confirmation if we are getting the original music, because there is some potential copyright issues with the music from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or if we are getting new music, which a lot of people will not be happy about if that happens, especially considering, again, they're charging like, I think 40 US for the game, or 55 Canadian.
Yep. And
And
if you want to get everything, that's an extra $5.
yeah, that's true. And Knuckles is not playable in CD, despite, I don't know if this is true, but I did hear that like he plays fine in CD. Like there are mods that put him in the new Christian Whitehead version. Apparently you don't need to change anything. Like he just works fine out of the box.
Huh. Yeah, so okay, right off the bat, we know everything about Sonic Origins. Sonic Origins is on the table. And this is a 10-minute presentation, so we're already wasting time on that.
That's true. I mean, I was kind of hoping that they would say something about the music or show the music, but I'm kind of scared that they're hiding it on purpose. That aside, they talked about their Roblox experience thing that says getting an update, but no one here plays Roblox, so we don't care. The mobile games are getting new characters. Like I know one was Mephiles, which is properly pronounced Mephiles, but in the presentation, I don't know why, but they pronounced it Mephiles. Like they really emphasized the Phyllis, and that like rubbed the whole, like Twitter kept posting Mephiles, like Milady, but Mephiles. So strange. But Mephiles is coming to one of the mobile games, and I'm a big Mephiles fan. I think he's got a very unique design as far as Sonic characters go. Super Shadow's also coming, so that's hype. They showed off a clip, like a maybe 10-second clip from Sonic Prime of Shadow rolling around and then uncurling and looking pissed with humongous fucking spines, like huge. Like I feel like every time Shadow shows up in something, his spines get bigger, and every time Sonic shows up in something, his spines get smaller. Like it's very strange. I'm not really looking forward to the Sonic Prime Netflix series. It looks like cheap animation, like the same, like any like mid 2010s Nickelodeon, or like around 2010 Nickelodeon. It looks like the same type of animation, and obviously it's targeted for kids, but I feel like they could have maybe done a little bit better on the animation, because somehow it just looks choppy.
I 100% agree. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way with how it works. Like Sonic and Shadow aren't like textured very much. They look kind of flat. It's all very off to me.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, not excited.
Yep. Tails is coming to Fall Guys as a costume, completing that Team Sonic trio of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles having costumes. Maybe one day we'll get Shadow, and I think that event starts shortly after the game goes free to play later this summer. Or I think it's on the 21st of June, but don't quote me on that. There's a animated short that is supposed to be the prequel, or like what happens before the new game coming this holiday, Sonic Frontiers. And the teaser we got for that short was Knuckles guarding the Master Emerald, a flash of lightning. That was it. That's the whole teaser. Nothing else happened. So what honestly not a worthwhile teaser at all. And then we got to see some gameplay for Sonic Frontiers, which had some bosses, which was really interesting. And honestly, I got more Breath of the Wild vibes. Like, Sonic is fighting these humongous creatures that are so much bigger than him, and I'm just like, this just kind of reminds me of, traversing the Guardians in Breath of the Wild.
And then fighting robots, giant robots. It
Yeah.
is similar kind of shtick.
It's alarmingly similar, and I don't want to say rip-off, but it does not feel like it's 100% like uninspired by Breath of the Wild, to put it very lightly, because like even the environment, like if you took the center environment of Breath of the Wild, like that grassy field, and you took out all of like the landmarks and stuff, and you just left in like the trees and the mountains, I feel like that's what Sonic Forces looks like. It has that ruined kind of look. I don't think we've seen any environment that wasn't like a grassy mountain with, flowing water. Like, I want to see a desert. I want to see a casino. I want to see chemical plant. I want to see places. Like, I just want to see a different environment, because the game apparently comes out in half a year and we haven't seen anything else.
Yeah.
So,
only one like biome.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's how I've thought about it so far. Is like their world is like a layer cake. You got the first layer of Breath of the Wild's world. You got the second layer, sprinkle some robots on there. And the third world is all these random ass rails and loop-de-loops and buildings in the sky that just don't fit. When really they need to all be like mixed in. I want to see these like loops and rails integrated into the world. I want the world design to be fun, It looks like the platforming is out of place with the natural part of it.
It's very strange. You're absolutely right about it. And it's not the first time that Sonic has done rails in the sky. There was a level from Sonic Adventure 2 called Sky Rail, I believe, and it was kind of like a mine level, and the rails were kind of like minecart tracks in a sense, right? And it's like, it's Sonic, it's not going to have like one-to-one like accurate geometry with like how you'd imagine the real world. But I also sent Jupiter Dog a clip of Rail Canyon from Sonic Heroes, where it's supposed to look like Eggman's base in the Grand Canyon, essentially. And it looks really cool. It has kick-ass music, and the rails don't look out of place. But
badass.
When you're walking around in a grassy field and you look up, and all of a sudden you just see a long rail that zigzags and is connected to nothing, it's like, why? Like, why not put it underground where it would make maybe a little bit more sense?
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed so far. And then they did a combat showcase with IGN. That didn't excite me at all.
It looks like
I've not been impressed.
It looks like Sonic has at least 4 different moves, being homing attack, kick, some sort of weird super kick, a tornado. Actually 5 if you count the thing where he draws a line around the enemies and then they like fly up.
I like the idea of the
I thought
drawing.
that was cool.
That was cool. I thought it was super cool too. If I'm just gonna walk around and fight these bosses in the same environment all the time, like no desert or anything, because at least with Breath of the Wild, like there was a volcano area, a desert area, and I'm fighting these giant bosses, and I don't get to see a change in environment, and everything just looks the same, which it kind of feels like it does, I'm gonna get bored. I need to go different places. Like, honestly, Breath of the Wild had that issue where I felt like there was too much of the same a little bit. I more just wish that there was more stuff padding my time walking to my different destinations, but Sonic just looks so barren and like there really isn't much to do.
Yeah. And then the combat kind of looked like rigid or janky, and this goes for all of the animation I've seen so far. Just like it really doesn't look smooth and fluid. And I'm wondering if there's been like some trouble development, because like I just don't know where all of the like magic is going, if you know what I'm saying.
There's an animation of when Sonic picks up a ring. Let's say like Sonic like just walks into a ring. It does not just ding and disappear. It will like loop around Sonic and fly into his back, which is like, if you're walking slow or if you're not going very fast, it looks very strange. Because I know what that's trying to imitate is like when you're boosting near rings in other games, they'll like attract into you. But if you slowly walk into one, it just flies around you at like crazy pace. It just looks very strange. And then switching rails looks very weird as well. Sorry, Beef, you had a thought.
Yeah, just like general thoughts. I had a few. Like, it's disappointing, I guess. I didn't realize it whenever watching it, but hearing like a couple of diehard Sonic fans talk about it, it is really disappointing. It's like, and you were describing it, kind of how the open world traversal and then the rail sections were so like disjointed, and that's really disappointing because it needs to be like a tour guide through the zones, and then those zones need to be like entertaining. But instead, it feels like they just have this like empty bowl that you walk around, and then they'll just have a theme park ride randomly.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels.
That's a great way.
But like the world should be the theme park, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're totally right on that.
Yeah, and this obviously isn't Sonic's first first stint with rails, right? Because like we've seen rails, like I said, Sonic Heroes and Sky Rail, like, you know, those were ones in the sky, but like, you know, there are other places to put rails. Like Sonic Lost World had one where you went through like an aquatic base. Like usually they're in bases, but all the time they've made sense or have been like not a huge visual distraction, where it feels like here you look up in the sky and you just see like a bunch of, it's like somebody took a Sharpie to the sky and just went and drew a bunch of lines.
It's like a Mario Maker level.
Yeah, it literally feels like, you know, Timmy's first Mario Maker level. And I actually had a solution for what I believe would make them better, and it would be like you would click like a you'd walk into like an orb or whatever, right? And that orb would be like, you have 20 seconds to grind on all the rails that have appeared and get to the goal. And then you would successfully grind on all the rails, and you'd have to switch at the right times and not get hit. And then when you collect whatever collectibles at the very end, the rails would disappear again. And if you want them to reappear, you just touch the orb and do the challenge again. But it gets rid of all that crap and clutter in the sky.
I like that a lot. Like the almost like the hat challenges in Mario Odyssey, where you throw the hat on something and then like some platformers appear and you jump on them. But then
Exactly.
Once you're done, they're done. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and it's like, it's literally the equivalent of like, imagine Mario Odyssey, but if like for those challenge things, like those blocks are all there, and just like you're randomly walking on like the beach of Mario Odyssey and you're just like, wow, these blocks look really out of place.
Yeah, then they go like off over like a body of water or some stuff, go around a cliff or something. That sounds cool.
Yeah, they just need to look a lot more integrated. Cable, do you have anything to say in regards to Sonic?
I tell you, I don't care about Sonic, so as someone who's not a Sonic fan, there was nothing shown, so I don't have anything to add.
I feel the same way, except for Sonic Frontiers, which is interesting to me.
Honestly, what's been shown about Sonic Frontiers doesn't get me excited to jump into Sonic. Granted, I'm not a Sonic fan to begin with, but what I've seen doesn't look anything from the norm. It looks like Breath of the Wild Sonic, and I'm a little tired of the Breath of the Wild, like the trope of, we're Breath of the Wild, but not, we're X genre.
Yeah. It's the way every single like old platformer is trying to get into next gen.
Yep.
I'm calling it right now. They're gonna start calling these games wild likes.
I hate that so much.
I can see that coming.
It's not a Souls like, it's a wild like. It's a wild like game, guys. It's not open world, it's a wild like.
It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I put money on that.
All right, Summer Games
you know
Fest.
What we didn't see any wild likes at Summer Games. Damn it.
I beat you too.
Transition.
Yeah, JD definitely had a better transition than me. All right, rapid fire. Street Fighter 6. How do we feel?
My friends have been asking me to play it. I'm a little excited. It looks gorgeous, and I've heard great things about the single player that could be happening. And single player would be really important to me as a newcomer. I mean, almost everyone's a newcomer to Street Fighter. It's hard to get into. And, having a robust single player would do a lot for me.
I played 5 a brief amount. I couldn't really get into it, but I really want to get into this one. What I love is the theming of how it's kind of more hip hop, more like underground stuff. I love that. That gives me so much more energy to come and join this. Like just really the style of it. Yeah.
I have nothing to add. Skip me.
Okay. I think the Chun-Li looks hella pretty, and I keep asking Capcom to give me her phone number, and they keep telling me to stop writing them letters. They announced a new Alien game that looks like it's a twin stick shooter. Didn't really have much to really. I'm not really into the Alien franchise. What about you guys?
I couldn't care less.
Zero involvement.
That trailer was really bad. It was like all cinematic,
Yeah,
and then like
2
one
seconds
and
of
a half
gameplay.
seconds of gameplay. Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
So screw them. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hate trailers like that.
And then they had the Callisto Protocol, same trailer shown again, except they added a scene where some guy gets his head chomped off, which apparently was too graphic for Sony. They just said that they wanted to show the trailer in the full cut. And it's just like, all right, you're going to make me sit down here for an extra 2 minutes because you're sad Sony wouldn't. Like, just take the fucking trailer out of the Sony state of play. Like, if you're that upset about not your like 5-second scene of some guy getting his head chopped off, like, anyways, you know, it is what it is. So already between Aliens and Callisto Protocol, we have 2 space games for Summer Games Fest, which was like, okay, cool. We got some games that are reminding us of Dead Space. Modern.
I'm actually pretty interested in Callisto Protocol.
I agree. Yeah.
That was a super cool trailer.
It looks good,
Cool
but
gore.
the reason that I think I just kind of like feel like not done with it, but maybe annoyed, is that we just got a lot of, like, we'll keep counting as we keep going down the list, but we got a lot of space games, and a lot of them felt like Dead Space 2, which just really, it just made it feel bloated with a lack of variety. After we saw the Callisto Protocol, we saw Modern Warfare 2 for an unseasonably long time. Like, it was a very long time. I don't care about Call of Duty. Does anyone?
I do not.
I mean, it was interesting. It was a little appealing to me. If it looks like they're going on a new engine and trying something new, and
Well, I believe it's
focused, that'd be cool.
I believe it's a remake of the old Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, which had a single player campaign, and like a lot of the recent ones don't. And that's whenever I played them back when I was a high schooler, they had great single player campaigns. So that would be neat.
Visually, I found it looked really impressive, but it just...
I just hope they're trying something a bit new.
I think their idea of trying something a bit new is getting away from all the crazy new stuff. Like, I think they want to go back to their roots, because a lot of complaints are, oh, they have all this crazy stuff like space guns or whatever, which I don't think Warzone does, because I imagine that is like the most recent title. But yeah, anyways, Flashback 2 was announced. I've just kind of felt like I didn't really have much to say on it. Like, it looked interesting.
I'm not familiar with Flashback 1.
Nor am I.
All right.
Next up
I
on
forget which trailer that is.
it wasn't very memorable. If I recall correctly, it was a remake of a game from 30 years ago. Nonetheless, after that, we got to look at Witchfire, which is, it kind of looks like Doom Eternal, but in like medieval ages with some fantasy creatures.
Yeah. It's a shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them.
Magic.
They didn't really show off any story or anything in this trailer. I don't know if they have before, but I just kind of looked at it and I was like, that's a lot of shooting, and I didn't really care. After that, they showed off Fort Solace, which is another Dead Space-like game featuring Troy Baker and Roger Clark. So, Troy Baker got a lot of attention during Summer Games Fest. Again, it's another Dead Space-like, followed by Routine, another Dead Space-like, but featuring music by Mick Gordon, which we got to hear none of during the trailer. Did anybody have any opinions on Fort Solace or Routine?
Nope.
Not much.
Like
you were saying before,
sorry.
I mean, they got a little samey.
Yeah, exactly. Because like this is our third and fourth kind of like Dead Space like game. Like, can we talk about how many Dead Space like games we got, but we didn't even see the actual Dead Space remake that comes out next year? Like, holy moly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the, kind of music McGordon does for it. because he was the one that made the music for Doom and Doom Eternal. But it's a survival horror, so I don't think we're going to hear that kind of like really hardcore, grungy metal. I think we're going to hear a lot more tense tracks. After that, The Rock came on screen for like 5 minutes to promote Black Adam, and it was so random because he's talking about all the nicknames he's had for 2 minutes, and then he's talking about his Zoa energy drink, and then there's a Zoa energy drink machine in the back. So it's like, okay, is this a Rock commercial? Is this a game commercial? Is this a Zoa commercial? Like, what are we watching? And it was none of those things. It was him saying, I hope you guys enjoy Black Adam in theaters. So, thanks, Dwayne. Very cool.
Warner Brothers has a decent relationship with Jeff, and this was a pretty clear just ad spot.
Yeah.
Jeff does a lot of them. Yeah, like it's not much to be surprised on.
Yeah. After Black Adam trailer, we got a first look at Stormgate, which is a new RTS that was developed by ex-Blizzard devs. It has a very strange look. So, D.Va's armor from Overwatch? It kind of looks like if you had a bunch of divas fighting a bunch of summoned skulls from Yu-Gi-Oh! We didn't get to see any live gameplay, but we did get to see some gameplay pictures and screenshots.
Good for Blizzard employees for starting their own stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after that, we got a reveal of Highwater, which was an indie that seems to maybe talk about... I'm assuming global warming, because, like, everything is flooded, and the water's, like, I would estimate, like, maybe, like, I don't know, 10 feet above ground level, and they're going around in boats. But, I mean, it says that it's a strategy game, which I didn't really see anything from that. If anything, I would kind of see it looking maybe more like a puzzle game, but we didn't really see... We saw a lot more story than any gameplay. Like, there was pretty much no gameplay other than driving the boat for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm reading here, it's narrative-driven survival. It kind of just seems like, it'll be story-focused. But that's an interesting one. I like when these types of indies make it into the larger showcases, especially with all the, like you're saying, all these space shooters, like they kind of stand out.
Yeah, exactly. After that, American Arcadia got a trailer, and it's kind of like a weird dystopian kind of game where if you're unpopular, the police chase after you. Like, and it's like a stealth game. So because it's a stealth game, it's immediately off my radar. But did any of you see it and say, I'd like to play that?
Nope.
I did not.
No, not really.
All right, 4 no's across the board. Let's go.
I just want to say something really quick. Like, as I was watching it, I just got a sense for how much of it is just collecting money, kind of, like paid ad spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's we'll talk about it as a whole overall afterwards, which, by the way, we are at 5 space games if we count Stormgate, because that's friggin' space armor. And then I don't know if you guys remember the Dead Island 2 trailer from years and years ago, but there's a guy and he's putting in his headphones and he's picking his song and he goes for a jog, and then the camera pans around and he's running from zombies. So Jeff says something along the lines of, you've been waiting for years and years to finally hear about this long-awaited sequel. Take a look, guys. And it's pretty much a 1-to-1 with that trailer. And the guy's putting his headphones, he's picking his song, he's going for a jog, and, he's walking past people. And then in the background, what do we see? A goat knock a woman off of the beach, or the balcony over the beach, like the boardwalk. And then there's more goats. The long-awaited sequel to Goat Simulator. You know what the title of the sequel to Goat Simulator is? Goat Simulator 3.
Thank you so much for the background story on that.
Yeah,
a lot more entertaining.
A picture.
Well, like,
it's actually a pretty hilarious trailer.
I remember seeing the Dead Island 2 trailer, and I was really sad that, I don't think we ever saw anything come out of it. And then when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, we're going to see that again? That game looks sick. And then the guy steps in poop, and there's goats. And it's Goat Simulator 3, which, just to clarify, there is no Goat Simulator 2. There's no Goat Simulator spin-off game. There is Goat Simulator, and now there is Goat Simulator 3.
It's so dumb. It's genius.
Yep. I gotta finish Goat Simulator. I gotta go back to it and play all their content because they had Star Wars DLC, they had MMORPG DLC. Very interesting stuff. After that, we got to look at Marvel Midnight Suns, which seems to kind of be demons invade wherever the Marvel characters live, New York, wherever.
New York. Yeah.
Yep, and then they're infecting both villains and good characters. We get a look at an eviler Venom. He's got like big horns and stuff. Hulk gets infected. A couple other ones I don't believe I recognized. But our protagonist cast, we have Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Very interesting and diverse cast.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm really fatigued on movie Marvel, like on the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about this is like the theming is totally different. We got this awesome like black and yellow contrasting like color scheme. And then we have at the forefront of the cast is like Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and like
Iron Man and Spider-Man. Yeah, it's such a weird mix.
Yep. And I love that because we're just so caught up in like the main 5 Avengers, and we're caught up in the like borders of the X-Men can't cross over with the Avengers, which can't cross over with the people that Sony own. But it seems like everything's at play here.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
Just picking and choosing, and I really like that.
Yeah. Cable, Dave, do you guys have any thoughts on Midnight Suns?
Not really.
What kind of gameplay does it have again?
Here's the kicker. Yeah, XCOM, but with cards.
Yeah, like the XCOM sounds interesting, but card-based, I'm kind of... It sounds like they're going to do like kind of like loot box things, like to get new cards, but I'm hoping it's just progression-based.
I hope it's not like that. I kind of had more in mind, like maybe you'd have a deck and you're just drawing cards for your moves, and it's like you could choose one of 5. And it's like if you don't have one that complements your character, you just gotta kind of like you gotta pick where to save your cards. If it's the way you're describing, Cable, that's gonna be awful.
I saw
like, how do you get new cards? Do you open loot boxes and it's gotcha, or
Cable has gotcha PTSD. After Midnight Suns got shown, we got a look at Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course, which I believe releases at the end of the month. New playable character, new island, bunch of new bosses. Looks really exciting.
Looks great. That boss they showed was crazy.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing more Cuphead, but I'm also scared for my life because Cuphead is not an easy game.
Yeah, no, I'm just so constantly impressed with everything the Cuphead team does. It just looks so incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the art style they're able to pull off while still making it such like a fun game to play.
It really felt like there was no shortage of effort there. Like it looks consistently good all the way through. Really well designed as well.
And it's like we were saying earlier with that Flood one, like in this showcase especially, the indie passion projects, they stand out. And they're just really nice to see.
I mean, just for the sake of argument, is Cuphead like an indie passion project anymore?
No, but like, I mean, MDHR is a relatively small team.
Yeah, but Microsoft owns them now, don't they?
No, I don't. I think it was just a deal initially that it would be on Xbox.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
But now it's on every platform.
Yeah. Anyways, Neon White is launching June 16th, and it is a shooter that's coming to Steam and Switch. Also card based somehow, it seems, but it looks very fast, very fun. Kind of gives me Ultra Kill vibes, and has an anime aesthetic.
Yep, and that's made by Ben Esposito, who's a developer I really trust. He made Donut County. I don't know if anyone here has played that.
Yeah, I've played a bit of Donut County.
Yeah, that's just a cute little game, and this is a total departure from that, but I trust the guy. It looks fun.
Donut County different. DLC for Neon White. What if? After that, we got to look at a game from Humble Games called Midnight Fight Express. Seems to be an action brawler. I didn't really get much story from it, except that the protagonist is very pissed.
I don't recall it, honestly.
I don't even see it on my Polygon lineup list here.
Yeah, it was after Neon White, before the Hoyoverse stuff, but we move on to the Hoyoverse stuff because honestly, I don't think it was very memorable. So 2 new Genshin games: Honkai Star Rail, which is Space Genshin, and then Zenless Zone Zero, which is Street Genshin. That's it. I don't play Genshin.
Genshin.
Yeah, like Genshin, but on the street. Genshin, but in space. Like the street Genshin, like they have swords and they're fighting robots and stuff. Like it's kind of like a little postmodern kind of, like not futuristic, just like, you know, futuristic clothing, futuristic robots, but like modern day setting, I guess. That's how I describe it.
Looks like they're getting pretty big. I'm just impressed that they're still pumping out content like routinely.
Yep. And then TMNT Shredder's Revenge comes out in about a week from when we're recording this, and they've confirmed a 6-player mode that is compatible with online and local play, as well as Casey Jones joining the roster.
Who's Casey Jones?
No fucking
I'm
clue.
not a Ninja Turtle guy.
Are any of us? Cable? Are you secretly the Ninja Turtle guy out of the 4 of us?
I didn't like Ninja Turtles as a kid, so that's a no.
I mean,
Wow.
it's like, imagine like Ninja Lizards and how kind of cool that sounds, and then Ninja Turtles. Like, these guys got to be slow as
Ninja
fuck,
Lizard. Ooh.
right? Ninja
What
Lizard
about
coming to.
Beetleborgs?
Ooh.
Oh, my Beetleborgs video game, man.
After that, we got to look at One Piece Odyssey with some gameplay and stuff. Looks kind of interesting, but I'm not a One Piece guy.
I'm a sucker for my anime games.
I was going to say, is that a JRPG, like a turn-based?
They only showed cinematic like cutscenes.
Okay.
Uh,
There wasn't any gameplay. I was paying attention to that one.
well, there was gameplay,
I've
but
heard-
no combat. Sorry, go ahead, Cable.
yeah.
That it is a JRPG, and if that's the case, I've never consumed any piece of One Piece media, but if it is, I'd be willing to jump into it.
It'd be a good way to learn a huge chunks of the story
Yeah.
at an abridged pace.
Yeah, like that's what I kind of liked about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Like I never ended up buying it. I hope to buy it soon,
Oh.
but just a way to consume the story in a more interactive way. After that, here's where we're all gonna finally open our mouths. Soul Hackers 2 showed off a little bit of the English dub, just a very small tad, like one voice actress, but it looks so cool and like there's so much stuff going on.
I know Cassandra Lee Morris is in it. She was Morgana from Persona 5. I don't know who she's playing, but I looked at a official copy of the cast, and they're people who do a lot of Atlas games, so I'm pretty happy with the casting of it. But from the gameplay that has been shown off already, it looks like it's leaning off of monster collecting and going to be more of your normal kind of, you have a set party members, buy them weapons and armor, and they just have weapons to use. Unless the attacks are, you don't have your demon summoned, but the attacks, you summon your demon, they come out, do an attack, and then they go back to your comp. I don't know if it's gonna be like that, but
Okay.
whatever it is, I'm fine with it.
It would be Persona 5, except everyone has the roster of demons available to them.
Yeah, it could be like that. I'm not sure. The original Soul Hackers was a monster collecting game. Like you have your party, which is you and you have another human with you, and then you can have that Soul Hackers 1 was a 6-person party. So you could have 4 demons with you. But the gameplay that has been shown, you have a party full of actual people.
And then how do you learn skills? That's confusing. If you don't collect the monsters, then is it just like Persona, where
Yeah, so it's
they learn their own skills, or?
Yeah, so it's either you do collect the monsters, but they don't stay out. You just summon them to do an attack, and they go back to the comp, or it's going to be like the party members can just learn magic. But I doubt that is what's happening. Although Soul Hackers is in the same universe as Rido, and Rido can just do magic without his demons. So that could be.
Cool.
Also, Cable just wants an excuse to see Rido again because he's a big Rido fan.
I fucking want a Rido 3 by Platinum Games. That would be amazing.
Would it be an action hack and slash?
Yeah.
I'd be down.
I don't know if... I think you've seen me play a little bit of Rido. I've streamed it a little bit.
A little tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah, but the gameplay is an action, but you can summon your demons, and it, like, combat pauses to issue commands to your demons. But Rido himself, he's just running in with his sword and with his guns. And you can have him do special skills that take your MP.
Interesting.
I definitely do recommend the original Soul Hackers. You can pick up Soul Hackers 1. They remade it for 3DS, and Rido 1 and 2 were on PS2.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to pick it up
3DS.
for much longer because 3DS shop's going to go down pretty soon too.
Very true.
Yep.
Good to know.
The colors look amazing. Like, that's my big thing, because I'm still pretty new to non-Persona Shin Megami Tensei, but man, it just looks like there's so much going on, and I want a big part in it. JD, what did you think of the trailer?
Oh, you know I'm a big Soul Hackers guy. This is my jam.
No memeing on the podcast, please. No memeing on the podcast.
Nothing about Shin Megami Tensei. I played the first 4 hours of Persona 5 Royal. That is my experience. So this meant very little to me, but I'm very happy for all of you that this was cool.
Persona is a kind of a spin-off of SMT games.
The
SMT series does not play like Persona plays. But
I will say that it does look kind of similar to Persona 5, and just that, like, the aesthetic is really turned up, and it's going to be like a less like bleak kind of style of storytelling. Usually there's like a lot of passive storytelling in SMT, and this is like a more like active storytelling experience. So in that way, it's going to be kind of similar to Persona 5, I think. And maybe like a good stepping stone for people like Leave who've just played P5.
Hopefully. But then again, I'm also maybe thinking about, like, what if I just played all like the Shin Megami Tensei games like in almost order of release? Like, I would only like skip one if there was like a remake or a remaster where it was better. So like instead of playing Strange Journey, I would play like Strange Journey Redux. Nonetheless, because we gotta schmooze through these. Metal Hellsinger, that is a rhythm shooter, if you'd believe it. I think the second biggest of its kind, because there was second big one of its kind, because there was another one that I don't recall the name of, but I just recall like a yellow and purple color scheme. Rhythm shooter is very interesting. The music was really good. A lot of interesting songs that I've heard from so far.
Was that the trailer where they showed Serge Tankian was like working on the music for it?
I'm not sure about that. I just remember this guy. It wasn't this trailer, but there was another trailer. The guy was talking about collecting a metal choir, like a screamo choir, if you will. After that, we got to look at Nightingale, which we saw a trailer for before. Looks kind of like The Forest, but I don't really have any interest. Any of you guys? No,
didn't rub me anyway.
All right,
didn't rub me the wrong way. Just didn't faze me at all.
We got a new look at Warhammer Darktide, because I think that was announced not that long ago. Which is coming September 13th. It's shooter Warhammer, but it just looked like Doom Eternal, but worse. Like, we were talking about this when I was streaming it, but like, I feel bad because like I compare a lot of these shooters to Doom Eternal, but then again, it kind of feels a little bit like they're taking inspiration from it. With this, like, it looks like they're trying to switch the weapons so quickly all the time, like they're playing Doom Eternal, but yeah, It wasn't for me, and then again, I'm not really a Warhammer guy at all. What about you guys?
No
I have
interest.
no concept of Warhammer.
All right,
Me neither.
No one likes Warhammer. A lot of these, like, this is how disappointing Summer Games Fest was, but like, we'll again sum it up towards the end here. New look at Layers of Fear by Bloober Team. I've not heard of that team before. I believe it's a sequel to
They did Blair Witch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't played that, but I did hear good things. As far as I know, it's a sequel to a game called Layers of Fear.
Yes.
So that's cool. It looked kind of neat. It did make me kind of feel intrigued in the story, but I don't know if it'll be something that I pick up. After that, we got to look at Gotham Knights. We got a lot of Nightwing gameplay, but Jupiter Dog's thoughts kind of sum mine up on the issue.
Yeah, so about that, does it look... Because people have been complaining that it looks like Avengers. Does it look like Avengers?
I mean, a little bit in the sense that it's like, do co-op missions, get gear, get the same exact gear, but it's in different colors to level up, like that kind of gameplay that I loathe. But I don't know, like it just doesn't look like anything special to me.
So it does not look like traditional Batman Arkham games.
It's not. No, it's like you're getting gear and you're upgrading your character, and it's all like co-op and.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Avengers is a pretty good comparison.
I am much less interested then.
Yep, Suicide Squad is the one that I'm interested in from Warner Brothers right now.
Same here. I'm really looking forward to Suicide Squad as well. Yeah, so after Gotham Knights, it's the big one. Definitely something that JD is going to have a lot to say on. The Last of Us is getting a remake for PS5 and PC. It's from the ground up. Superdog?
So, Last of Us 2 is probably in my top 5 of all time. That immediately got you like 6 dislikes, Leave. I'm sorry. But I really love these games. I'm sad that it leaked ahead of the presentation, but I'm happy that it exists. I really love the way it looks, but more importantly than that, I think getting the 60 FPS, getting the new combat, and getting the new AI. Because Last of Us 2's combat system is just such a step up. It's like a game. Like Last of Us 1 is a story with gameplay, in my opinion. Last of Us 2 is really like a game that you can play and feel like you're actually having a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that to come over. And yeah, no, this is just a great announcement. And then we had a lot more Last of Us announcements as well.
Yeah, we got some stuff on the HBO show. I believe that they said that they're making the multiplayer aspect of part 2 its own standalone thing, and then there's another multiplayer game that I have a feeling is gonna be a battle royale. But you know, I think the big thing that like everybody saw as like the grand finale was this remake, and I'm looking forward to it coming out, going on sale, and then playing it. I hope it has ray tracing, but playing it on PC, because I really didn't like playing The Last of Us Remastered on PS4. I felt very bored, and I felt like I was punished where I shouldn't be, and that things were kind of like too easy where they shouldn't be. Like, it was very all over the place. Like, sometimes it was like overly punishing. But yeah, that's another topic for another day. Anyways, I am looking forward to this new version of Last of Us with new AI and a new combat system that is apparently more like the second one. Yeah, Cable, Dave, do you guys have opinions on the Last of Us remake for PS5 and PC?
I'm glad you summarized it for me. I mean, if it's like a whole reboot and they're touching it up, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't like The Last of Us to begin with. I don't know if I'll pick this one up or not. I might look at it if it goes on sale for like $20. That's my opinion.
All right. As a whole, I thought the show was really lackluster. Definitely the worst Summer Games Fest that we've had since its conception. Really disappointing, honestly. Really disappointing.
It's a losing battle no matter what, I think, because it's not a Nintendo showcase or a PlayStation showcase. It's a gaming showcase, and you can't appeal to everyone. Like, even in this discussion, we've had points where you've brought up a game, and the four of us have just been crickets, you know? And then we've had some where, like, Last of Us, where only I'm here passionate about it, and then there's Soul Hackers, where I have no idea.
You're the only one that
like,
isn't excited about it.
Yeah, you know, like, you can't appeal to everyone. And I think you have to have such a wide range of games in order to do that, and that's just really hard to do.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But I think another big problem this year is it felt like a lot of people pulled out to do their own thing. because we have the Capcom showcase coming up a couple days after we record this. We have the Xbox Bethesda showcase a couple days after we record this. Sony did their state of play. Nintendo is probably going to do their own presentation, considering the only Nintendo thing we saw was Neon White, and it isn't even a first-party Nintendo exclusive. It's coming to Switch and Steam. So, yeah, it's, cool for games like Callisto Project, because, that and Soul Hackers, those are the big titles for this event. Ditto Last of Us Remake. But, yeah, that's about it.
When it comes to games that I didn't know anything about and I'm looking forward to now, Callisto Protocol is honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. What we've seen so far looks very much like Dead Space, but not. And that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously looking forward to Soul Hackers. I'm really kind of sad that Arkham Knights isn't what I thought it was.
Gotham Knights, you mean?
Whatever, yeah. Isn't what I thought it was. So, yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not part of the Arkham canon, so it's not messing anything up.
Yeah, no, very true.
Just kind of a mixed bag, very samey, especially near the start. One thing I'll say about the excess of like Dead Space shooters that Beef just went over, Cable just went over, like Callisto is going to be awesome. Because Callisto actually is the Dead Space shooter. It's made by, is it the original director?
I think is it not multiple employees from the original team?
Yeah. Let's just say it's like a lot of the Dead Space team. And I'm very excited to see what they do with it. It looks messed up so far.
It looks pretty inspired. To me, I wasn't inspired by pretty much all of it, but Callisto looked really, really cool. And that was about it. I'm excited for Soul Hackers, obviously. But there was just there's always a lot of filler because he has to make money for the show, obviously. It's a huge production, but the stuff to make up for it just like wasn't there. That makes it really exciting. It was cool, but in comparison, it's underwhelming from what I remember of last year. And this is an interesting like side note, but whenever I Googled it, at the top of the page was this thing about Jeff Keighley like running his own like E3 competitor kind of thing. I thought that was kind of funny, especially now that like it seems like everyone is kind of withdrawing from the show and doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's like a little beef born out of the competition that Jeff Keighley is kind of making.
One question I had about Summer Games Fest, I didn't get to watch it. Was there live music this year?
No.
Wow.
I think that's more of the Game Awards' thing. Game Fest is less of like a high budget production.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Really
has previous Summer
games.
Games Fest had live music? I don't think so.
I thought it did, but I don't remember fully.
You might be thinking just the Game Awards, because like I think 2019 Game Awards had Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry. 2020 had I was gonna say Doom Eternal, but I don't think it did actually.
There was a year that wasn't it like Rage 2, and that was really bad, or was that E3?
No. That was I think that was 20. Oh wait, maybe it was E3. Anyways, yeah, no live music this year. Or at Summer Games Fest this year.
What a snooze.
Yeah. Wasn't great. I don't think I'll be watching Summer Games Fest live next year if one occurs.
I think he said they'll be back in 2023.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw someone that said he wanted to do it live in 2023, like an in-person event.
The best reveal, like just honestly, the most popular reveal, the reveal that everyone's going to be talking about the most, of course it gets spoiled before the show even starts. Like, and PlayStation themselves leaked it. They put the product page up on their own website. Like,
so you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying about the beef and the competition?
Yeah.
Maybe everyone learned from Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo didn't put up with any of that. Like, other than I think last Summer Games Fest, the Mario Rabbids sequel got shown off.
Yeah, that was Ubisoft Connect, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but I swear Nintendo I swear Rabbids showed up at a Summer Games Fest. I swear it did.
But that's the only one. You know, they're so tight-lipped. They don't let anything out, hardly.
Yeah.
And they probably benefit a lot from that. So I guess everyone else maybe is doing the same thing, and Jeff is hurting for some games to showcase now.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
I'm curious to see how bad the reaction is on Twitter, but maybe it's worse than I'm imagining. My kind of like last thought on it is shocked we didn't see any Sonic Frontiers from Summer Games Fest. You know, like kind of seemed like a given, especially considering that Sonic Central was really short, or even that prologue animation thing, like how Frontiers happens. But oh well, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully soon, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're behind because they've only shown one biome. There's no way
If
the
it's
whole
just
game is
one,
going to be one biome, so they're behind.
yeah, like fans are crying out for them to delay it, and I really hope that it's just they're
Please.
staying really tight-lipped about how much is actually in the game. Because don't get me wrong, if there are like 6 biomes, yeah, but just show me 2, just show me 2, not like you don't have to show me 4 or 5, just show me 2 of them so I know another one exists. You know?
Yeah.
That would be important. I
appreciate their transparency of like, look, this is the game. This is what it's like. Let's have IGN play it. But they got to do something to build the hype.
Yeah, really, because like, you know, we see Sonic, we see there's no character, because like Sonic interacting with these like mute robots is not something that makes me go, oh wow, you know, like where's Amy, where's Tails, where's Shadow, like all we know is that somehow Knuckles is kind of involved, maybe like he's guarding the Master Emerald before this all happens, but I swear, if this is some sort of Sonic gets sucked through a wormhole into this other dimension where none of his friends are except Shadow for some reason, because you got to have Shadow in all the games, I'm gonna lose my mind, because, you know, this wouldn't be the first time they've done that.
When you advertise a game, you give snippets of the story, you show awesome gameplay sequences, you show some of the locations. You don't show the one grass area
For
and the
5
really
years.
janky-looking combat and puzzles, you know?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
the only interaction we've seen was the very initial reveal. There's a voice that sounds very strangely like Amy's voice, giving Sonic some sort of advice or whatever, like turn left or some stupid shit like that. But other than that, Sonic hasn't spoken to anyone or heard any other words. We haven't seen Eggman. Like it's very like very dry. The information we're getting like very strange. Is there
if
any?
we're gonna talk about Sonic, I didn't get to say how this game reminded me of Dragon Ball Z sagas, with how kind of like goofy and stiff the energy blast attack looked.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If anyone played Dragon Ball Z sagas, that game was terrible, and it kind of reminded me of it.
Unfortunately, I'm not part of the Dragon Ball Z Saga players group.
Very few are.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, if it's as bad as you say, it makes sense. Is there any other closing thoughts that we have before we call it on this episode?
I want to bring it back around to LeChonk. May he always be here for us.
He must be protected at all costs.
It's events like this where I almost get tired of the game industry of like, man, this is where we're at, huh? Bunch of space shooters and loot grind fest, but then I see LeChonk, and it's just all okay.
You know, that's fair, but I do thank Jeff because he did get to show us Elden Ring. So like he's not all bad.
That's true.
And Jeff did talk to a pot friend during the Game Awards, so you know there was that. Also, can you just guys just give me a minute? I'm just changing my emergency contact to LeChonk. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode of the Leavecast. Thank you everybody for listening today. We'll probably be back very shortly after the Capcom and Xbox Bethesda showcases. You can find all of our socials in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
In LeChonk, we
Nice.
trust. Amen.